Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our January 7th budget meeting. I'm gonna call the meeting to order. Ask everyone to make sure you turn your cell phones off and it doesn't disturb the meeting. And I'm gonna start off with the land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen is located on the Treaty 20 Mississauga territory of the Mississauga and Chippewa Nation, collectively known as the Williams Treaty First Nation, which includes Curve Lake, Hiawatha, Alderville, Scugog Island, Rama, Osa Lake, and Jardine Island First Nations. The Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen respectfully acknowledges that
On item number 13, we have the Havelock Tower repairs. So the hatch from the tower's inception was constructed with galvanized steel and not stainless steel. So there is showing some rust and repair on the hatch itself. There is recommendations to have that replaced. It was scheduled to be replaced last year, but during the drought, we were not able to. We have to actually take the tower completely out of commission and run off of the wells, and the wells would have to run 24/7 to maintain pressure and distribution. It'd be about a week and a half project. So because the drought was so severe this year, we weren't able to complete the tower repairs. We will schedule that for some time in the spring or summer, late fall, depending on when we can get a contractor. For item number 14, I have two turbidity analyzers. One is a spare and one is a replacement for well 3.
We have a question.
Sure, absolutely.
So for the water tower, was the 15,000 put on for last year?
Yes. Yeah, and we just carried it over.
That was, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Through you, Mr. Mayor, sorry, I should have said. For items number 15 and 16, these are continuations of last year for trying to determine if a new well is suitable or if we should be making repairs on the existing well 3. We are making progress with the groundwater exploration. There was a report that was provided to Aqua and HBM staff. It was quite technical. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to look it over or if it was shared yet. It was quite technical. I had a lot of questions and asked for a lot of revisions. So I was promised a revised version, a little bit more simplified by January 14th. So as soon as I get that simplified report, I'll be sharing it with Bob and he can pass it over to you. All in all, it is some pretty good news. So that's about all I want to share because I want to make sure before we get there.
And Mayor Martin, Amber, you're going to come back as a delegation to explain that.
Correct. Yes, and so will actually the company. They're quite good at doing a more thorough explanation.
So that will be in February.
Correct.
Yes.
Just in continuation with the item 15 and 16, they will not be together. This is one or the other. And as you'll note, last year we had to run well 3 and we were also doing a well exploration. We didn't spend anywhere near the 750,000, but we did meet both categories to continue operation with. We've also left an item number 17 to repair and replace hydrants. This is more of a preventative maintenance. It's as we do our flushing or if there is a car accident or something, we have money in the budget to make a full repair or replacement on hydrants of distribution. And the last item is just contingency for any breakdowns and anything that I can't prepare for or haven't prepared for. Would there be any questions for the water?
No.
So if we can move to page 160.
140.
140, sorry, there's that. Similar to the water, the drinking water system, we have a consistent line items that follow each other every year. This will take us from 1 to 12. Most of them are compliance and preventative maintenance that is required throughout the year. Some additional items that aren't If you'd like me to go through them, I'm happy to. If not, I'll jump to item number 16, which is a spare aeration valve and actuator. This is just a lifestyle replacement needed for the system itself. We've quoted the work to be around 7,000. The item number 17 is a replacement raw sewage pump. So that's in and around $12,000. The auger repair and brush replacement is item number 19. This is at the headworks of the wastewater plant. Again, just a life cycle replacement. Time after time, they do need some repair and some updating. Item number 21 is the biggest purchase for the year, which is a spare Highway 7 replacement pump. Just to have on the shelf should Highway 7 sewage compensation ever fail. The spare we do not have on the shelf. Item number 22 is a digester clean out. This was scheduled last year. Again, because of the drought, we weren't able to complete the work. So we're trying to tentatively schedule it for again this year. Hopefully we don't have drought. Item number 23 is just adding some insulation to the raw water sampling. Oh, sorry. Where did I go? Item number 22 is insulated raw composite sampler housing. The housing component itself is just failing again, life cycle replacement. And the EQ discharge pipe insulation is just again, the insulation is starting to fail. So we don't want pipes to freeze and it's exposed to the elements. 25 is a contingency. And the remaining items below are part of the phase for SEMA, which I did ask them to provide an update, but I didn't get it in time. Questions?
I just had one question with regards to spare parts, having a motor on the shelf. So I've heard in other things that we've done with you is that you sometimes have, like, is it a common pump that maybe like you do other municipalities too, for us to have, you know, a pump on the shelf? Is it possible for sharing on things like that as far as like say us as Marmor, I think you look after Marmor, so like to say having a pump between us type of thing, or is that?
In most, through you, Mr. Mayor, good question through you, most cases, yes. So in a lot of situations, we have pump contacts too that do understand that we have items and they do kind of keep them readily available. For the sewage pump station, for example, at Highway 7, it's a very large pump. So it's not something they would typically keep on the shelf. The only one that would somewhat relate to it is in Tweed, and we just had to replace it as well, and it was quite a task. So it's just good to have the bigger ones on the shelf, especially I call them the Mayday pumps. These are the ones that when they fail, we don't really have a lot of time to. And it's going to cause problems, so we've scheduled that to be just put onto the shelf.
Very good. Okay.
I've also learned our lesson too when putting items on the shelf. In some areas, they can't stay in the office. Like if there's chlorine, like a water pump, for example, the chlorine in the atmosphere will actually eat away at a brand new pump. So we try not to have spares just sit there over time for no reason. So we put them in a well-ventilated area.
Okay. Good one.
The pump, if you order it, put it on the shelf for 2 years, is that 2 years out of a warranty or a life cycle, or does the life cycle kick in the day you install?
Mr. Mayor, good question. Most times the warranty starts in the day of purchase. Unfortunately though, the risks outweigh the reward for the Highway 7, but in most cases we don't purchase a spare just for that reason.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, thank you, Amber. Just a question about the first column here in the water budget. In terms of everything's listed 1 to 18, which of these are included and which of these aren't included? I know you said 15 and 16 was either or. 13, the water repairs. I think you told Councillor Flagler that money was there from last year. So is that included in this 820, or like what's included in the 820 and what isn't included in the 820?
Oh, yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor, good question. All items are included in the 820 except for one of 15 and 16. unless I've done the formula wrong.
The numbers less, that's why I kind of did quite, I don't know, is that right?
Have I, maybe I've done, I can
Just working.
I'm thinking that 15 isn't included in there, but I could be wrong.
okay.
785. 25 is 820 right there. Just from 13 to 18. Yeah, I think you're right. He did that. Sorry.
It's okay, you're just putting a lot of pressure on me. If I make one mistake here, we're gonna have to start all over.
No, but even
No, it is added, so as far as I did that.
shouldn't that 15 be taken out of there then?
The 15,000 for total, I'm not sure how that works with respect to HP, I'm sorry, that's.
Future capital projects like this, if in 1 year it's not spent, it's coming out of the admin reserve as opposed to like an operating.
It's not gonna affect the tax
So
rate.
yeah,
Okay.
in the previous year, it didn't come out of the admin reserve because the money wasn't spent. So this year,
Okay.
Amber has it in there and it'll probably come out of the admin reserve.
Okay. I don't know if there's a way that you could do it, if we can kind of make a notation on that, just so that we know, which money has been carried over and which hasn't.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense, I don't mind doing that.
Thank you very much. And we got one, I don't know, budget related, but the last time you were here, I know we had conversation in terms of getting a number around what our allocation is for all our wells.
Mhm.
We're looking at doing a new well up here. Do we have any of that information, or do we know when we might be getting some of that? I was hoping to have some of that.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
I mean, I were working on
We're
it.
working on it for you yet, just because the end of the year was actually kind of crazy busy. So if you give us to the end of the month, we'll be able to have that number for you.
Thank you very much.
Through you, Mayor Martin, can I suggest, can you bring that when you do your presentation, the new well project? Yeah, that'd be great.
February?
Perfect. Yeah.
Absolutely, thank you.
Any other questions for Rob? Yeah, and I don't have any questions on the sewer side of it. It's, yeah, it's all, most of it, there's nothing big and outstanding other than this well is the biggest thing probably, and the lagoon over here, the work around it is one of those things that probably the biggest thing we got going in water and sewer. So, but right now, yeah, everything looks pretty straightforward.
Okay.
So, do you have any questions for me? All right, so thank you for coming today, and then I'll just get a motion to receive the delegation. Moved by Councillor Flagler and second by Deputy Mayor Webb. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Amber, that delegation will be the first Tuesday in
First
February.
Tuesday of February?
Yeah.
Thank you, I was gonna ask the date. but you
Yeah.
didn't.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so that's it. I'll just go through the list again. From yesterday, if there's any changes that we talked about yesterday, if we've got some clarification on them, and today we hopefully can make a motion on some of the items we talked about, so. So I'll just go through the list on page 2, that we used yesterday, and the books are on. Good. So pages the first 18. So we'll start at page 18. And administration department overview. Is there anything that came out of there yesterday, or any motions that needed to be done? And then we'll do another. All right. So, okay, the council overview. We talked about the fire and ice yesterday. Was that in the council?
That's in admin, so page 22.
Okay,
Havelock-Belmont-Methuen, fire and ice is for 10,000.
so right now it's still in the admin. leaving that in there.
What did we give them last year? And how much?
Don't know. Lionel, is that at your fingertips? Did we did an allocation last year for fire nights?
New cherubs 10.
Plus 10.
It's true, that didn't include the fireworks, or that included the fireworks. Could we buy the?
I thought that included the fireworks.
I would think so.
I would hope so.
That's why I'm asking the question. I don't know whether it is or isn't.
So maybe that's a part of it. If it's a 10,000, that's with fireworks in. Because that's about 5,000 or 6,000 on its own, or 7,000 on its own.
Through you, Chair, I don't have that information right here, but I could go to my office and dig through the file.
We can make it like, you know what, it's a lot of money. Like any of the other groups, we don't give that much to it. It's solely up to council. We can get the numbers, but I think if that should be fireworks in, personally. But
Yeah, I agree.
the 10,000 with the firework.
So is that like 5,000 cash, 5,000 fireworks?
It's, I don't know. I can
7,000?
budget to what they need for fireworks, but we have one sparkler.
It says 5,000 for fireworks in their invoice, so.
Oh, they're giving 5,000 cash. Are we still doing 10,000 this year?
That's what I'm saying. My suggestion, I'm just asking, what do you think of 10,000 with everything in
Yeah, fireworks is allocated for 5,000.
on top of the 10?
No, included in.
Okay, okay,
Capital pyrotechnics, 5,000.
okay. Gary?
Well, I think, did we not get the invoice for that sent to us, or was that, so we pay for it and it's in their budget? Is that what their projection, I guess?
Yeah, that's what it's included in the overall apps here.
Okay, well, yeah, that should be it. I think, like if we were given the 10,000, like we've asked all the groups, they gotta come back, like this report here, tell us how they spent it. Otherwise, and it should have, should be earlier than this, but, anyways, it is a good event. And, like I said yesterday, we have lots of groups putting things on. It's one of the highest ones we have, so you have to work to a budget, and so if we can match last year's, I think that's what they're asking for. And then we just have it in the motion that they bring a report back at the end of the event to give us an update.
But they were supposed to do that last year and haven't done it. So
Great.
I think, I don't know.
What's your thoughts then? Like it's the 10,000 was what we gave them last year, and that included the fireworks. So it's up to council, or we just work on it later with council initiatives if they come to us with a case. But I think this is the case as they're working on last year's numbers. And
I'd like to see last year's budget thing or year-end report. This to me is just a list of stuff that they want to do.
they're meeting tonight, I think. So
So remember, like we were talking earlier here, like a lot of this stuff like the sway, with the pins, like pins to me are a waste. I mean, you get a drawer full of pins. There's some of this stuff that I think they could eliminate. Okay.
So, well, yeah, I agree with you. I think we brought up yesterday, the paramedic service. I'm not sure how that aligns because we have our firefighters or other people that I think would cover that off. So I don't know if council wanted to take their time and go through it. I'm sure you could pick at least a couple grand out of there. So if you maybe wanted to offer them seven or 8 grand, I mean, I don't know, some other number that council can come up with. Because to Councillor Clement's point and other people's points, I think there might be a couple items in here that aren't mandatory to hold this event. So
Yes.
So we do a lot of in-kind donations on top of that, like.
Yeah.
That's not in this page.
No, but I mean, we did, and that's because we do it, like snow removal and things like that. There's a lot of extra costs that we do help with. So, you know, whatever this number is, they need something to work with, whatever you're comfortable with,
75.
So-
So,
So I'll make the motion that for 7,500, see if that goes.
see where it goes, okay? So
Because that's about what we figure that about in terms of, but
Yeah.
it'd be about $25, excuse me, $2,500 worth of items that I see here could be taken off this list and still run the same event.
okay, so I'll look for a seconder for that first.
can I make a comment to that? Then?
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll second it, but you know, one of the things that bothers me in here, the radio ad spots, nothing, Chorus is gonna do this for nothing.
they do.
Do
because
they?
Yeah,
Okay, all right, fair enough, but I'm with the deputy mayor, there's a lot of stuff in here that could be knocked off.
so the motion is $7,500.
I'll go with 7,500.
And the report following the event.
Oh,
I agree, sorry, just, I agree with the comments from the rest of the council. It's kind of under the gun here, so I mean, one way or the other, whatever decision we make, I think it's prudent that we make it somewhat quickly here, because they're gonna need whatever money we give them to start planning this event, so.
one more thing, can we set a definite date? I agree with Bev that we should be having an updated audit from last year. Like, can we get a definite date that, you know, this is held in February? We wanted something by March 15th or something.
First meeting in April.
Yeah.
You know, let
Yes.
them get all their stuff in.
Yeah.
So,
Is that okay?
so that can that be a part of the motion that we
Yes.
get a report back for our first meeting in April on
Absolutely.
how it was spent?
Yep.
Okay,
Sure.
Jerry,
To your merit, the paramedic service was on last year's budget too.
Was it?
So I don't know whether they just didn't use the money or whether it's necessity, but
yeah,
it was there. And can I, and sorry for another question, Paul, and the 75, then that includes the fireworks?
yeah,
Yes, oh yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
25,
75, so,
yeah, great, thanks.
okay, so the motion is $7,500 and report back by the first meeting in April. Okay, any other questions? All in favor? And that's carried. Okay. All right. So the council overview, was there anything there?
and through you, Mr. Mayor, yeah, just something I overlooked yesterday. I got an email just about a question in terms of the community doctor initiatives. So our last year allocation was 108, 150. This
What
year,
page you on?
page 24, sorry. Our allocation this year is 80. So I just had a question in terms of the difference in those numbers, maybe, Bob or.
I can explain that through you. Yes, through you, Mayor Martin. Last year at time of budget, that was an estimated number. The 80,000 ended up being the actual expenditure to support the medical clinic and support the rostering of patients. And it's been a very successful initiative. We have over 500 people that have been rostered now at the clinic. So I think it's been a great success for council and the community.
Great, thank you very much.
Anything else on council? Go ahead.
Now, to you, Mayor Martin, did we do the administration one, the miscellaneous revenue? If I'm not sure what that was.
Your administration?
Sure, that's the cell tower, Rogers cell tower.
We talked about that.
Sorry.
Okay, animal control. So,
No, I don't know, it was a sniper.
no, animal control, but it's, yeah, no, I'm not supposed to. So, I don't think there's much we can do there, and it's something work in progress, so if there's enough in there, but there were no changes. So the building department operating. What they.
29?
29.
No, with the last, yeah.
Right, so we can move on to the bylaw department overview. Page 31. I don't have any notes for that yet. cemetery. Okay, cemetery page 33. There's nothing there either. Conservation authority. Below. There's nothing out of it either. Was on page 36. Okay, facilities administration overview, page 39. Any notes from the everybody?
Page
39, 40.
41 is a note on Cordova Library PCAS one. I looked into that, and that difference there is a part of that agreement. We now carry the cost of the propane instead of it being a split. So looking at that rate, we're able to take 600 off that 4,100 for 26.
Okay.
The Lions Hall, page 44, the captain phone. We had 4,800 put in for the 26 budget. We're able to take 1,300 off that.
Reason being, just like what's changed there,
The projected actual for not accurate.
That's all the notes you have. Anybody else have any other questions with regards to that? So the new number, the unique individual motion.
We can take a motion to do both of those.
There's one motion for both of those changes. By Councillor Clement and Councillor Brody. Questions? All in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. Is the operations and administration there? It's not. So.
Okay, we'll just keep going through.
Building operations, I've got that.
Is there anything there?
I think you will. Building operations are state 41. I don't know if we're past that or. Sorry, I just said. 40, yeah, thank you. You okay there? Yeah. Okay, anybody else? So yeah, we kind of got them both together, the operations and the. Okay. All right, so we're gonna move into fire service overview. That's on page 50.
Raise on lines.
Yeah. Yeah, Ray's online. He's got a doctor's appointment today, so. So what, is there anything in there? Questions from yesterday?
Well, we talked about, sorry, through you, Mayor, we talked about the salaries. I don't know what the end result was. Which I guess my suggestion, we take it all off, and I think Deputy Mayor suggested leaving something in.
50,000.
I don't know what the end result, I can't.
Lionel, can you help?
Through you, Chair, I believe there was a motion to take out a total of 35,000 from the personnel line on page 51.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we want to move that. Oh,
Sorry, through you, Chair, I believe it was already made, the motion.
oh, okay.
There was a motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Well, sorry, just a general question. Do we know when we're gonna have the
Because I commented yesterday, it's hard to make a decision here if I don't.
Yeah.
Some of these numbers we don't have, right? So. I don't know how we want to proceed. I know we're trying to pass things and get things done here, but at the same time, I would want to make a decision if I don't have all the information.
For the fire.
Yeah, like I know we made the one change or whatever, but as I said, all the rest of these numbers are just filled in numbers, so. I don't know how we can really make a decision in terms of whether it's advertising, communication, professional service contracts, like.
Well, you said around the training coming up this year that we have a lot of.
I understand that. I completely understand
He's on
that,
line,
and I
so-
know, and I understand that too. And I'm not trying to put this on. I'm just saying, as for myself as a counselor and dealing with public money here, it's hard for me to make a budget decision if I don't know what we spent last year on these things, right? And so I don't think it's very responsible of me to make that decision without having that knowledge. So,
So for today, then we can skip over this and get those numbers to come back. Unless you have them online, right?
Well, that's what I think we wanted, wasn't it?
For you, Mayor Martin, I don't have them right in front of me. I'm still waiting for some big invoices to come in.
So that's one of the problems where the guesstimates come in, like we see when we're doing an early budget. Some of those things aren't. You have a rough idea of what we spent though, Ray, or is that what you're going on with these numbers?
Yeah, they'll be close to the 2025, whatever was budgeted there. The numbers will be very, very close, if not over.
and I trust that they will. I'm not going, I'm not expecting any major surprises. All I'm saying is, and the other thing to me is, this is an operating, so to me, there's no rush. So if I have to wait a week or two for these numbers and then end up passing it then that's what I'm willing to do, but I'm not willing to move forward on this until I have at least more information than I have here.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so we can,
Through you, Mayor, I don't understand it. If we got big invoice, if the work's done and we're going to expect payment, that was part of the process when you're doing your budget. So I don't understand this. We can't do it and we do it ahead and everything. If we know what the work's done, we know we're going to have to pay the bill. That's part of 25 projected. So I'm with Deputy Mayor. I don't understand this at all.
and that's what it says, projected actual, so it's a projection, but it's not actual projected, so.
well, and that's what I'm saying, like, then they're all, and I know, like, it seems, looking at Ray's past budgets, he's pretty good at spending his money too, so I know he's not gonna spend 100% of everything we budgeted last year, right, which is what's written in here. So just to be fair to him, but like I said, I'm not expecting anything out of the ordinary, but at the same time, if I'm sitting on the outside looking in, I would rather somebody have all the numbers before they make a decision, right? So that's just my view. The rest of council can do whatever they like. So,
No, we can skip over this one and bring it back. It's that's what we're here for today, and if you're not comfortable with it, we don't make a motion.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So let's keep moving then. With the library operating, page 53. We don't have a motion. If you don't want to make a motion, like if you want something to come back to the next meeting, you can make that motion. That I prefer to have some information come back to our next meeting, budget meeting, because there could be 2 or 3 more budget meetings.
As soon as, and then as the deputy chief alluded to, he's working on getting this together. So I don't know how long that's going to take, but yeah, as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Like I can't see myself voting, to pass this, so the rest of you can do whatever you want, but until I have this information, right? I have information for every other department, which is how I can make a decision with this. I have really no numbers. So in terms of what we're gonna cut, and we've been cutting from other departments, how are we gonna know what we can cut and what we can't cut if we don't have any numbers?
Okay.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, question on, I agree with you, Mayor. I'd rather go through the budget and find out which ones we want, because some of them, I think, there's been some thought put into it, and the numbers maybe are close to what they should be. But the other numbers, I can't understand why if Ray's got the information, get the information, we're gonna be around here till 30 or 1 to get back to us so that we can move forward with this. Otherwise, I agree. If we're gonna make a motion, it has to have a date when we get it back.
And I don't think it's a big deal, as the deputy, or sorry, the fire chief alluded to, he's working on this, so hopefully, I don't think we're gonna be passing this budget today by any means, right? The final thing, I don't know.
No, I don't.
So I don't know. I don't know what the rush is. That's what I mean. Like there is a rush, but so I don't want to bring it back 2 months from now. But if we give them a week or a few days here to get those numbers together to bring it back to us.
Forgetting one factor, that this has been going on since August. The preparation for the budget, I'll leave it at that. Whatever we want to do, it's fine.
So every budget has projected and yeah, there's stuff coming in still. And I've always been told that like a lot of times is best guesstimate when we're doing early budget. And you can say that it doesn't work that way. Maybe I've been brainwashed. I've been doing it 20 years and it's totally different than the private sector.
Nothing to do with the private sector. It's always been the same title, projected.
Yeah,
It's always been that way.
And that's the
And
key word.
look at your 20-year-old books, it's projected. Always,
That's right.
Because you can't have it final because the year end doesn't come December 30th.
Exactly.
So I don't know what you're really talking
You're
or what
answering
you're
your own
going.
question. But anyway.
No difference between private or.
Okay,
public.
so let's just move past this one here then. Ray, if you can bring some better projected numbers to us, for our next budget meeting, that would help us make a decision here. So we can work with some of the numbers if there's anything we can do with them. Okay. So we'll move past here to the library operating overview. Next, Park and Rec Department overview, page 56.
I have a note from page 57, membership, training and education. We can take 3280 off that.
Okay. Yeah.
Park operating. Page 60, first line materials and supplies. I have a note to take 44 down to 30. I was looking into this particular GL. These are a couple of line items merged together. Looking at the separate line items together, we would be more comfortable to take 44 down to 40.
Okay.
Over on page 61. Operating PFAS and oil. When we were doing the early preparation for budget, we had a $7,000 Enbridge bill tucked in there. So our projected actuals were a little off. We're able to take that 11.2 down to 10.3.
What page is it? That's page 61. 11.2 down to 60, or to
11.2 down to 10.3.
Oh, and heat, gas and oil?
Heat, gas and oil, the first line item.
Oh. Down to what?
10,300.
um,
Oh, apologies, the 7,000 was in the hydro, not the ECAS and well for the next line item. So we were able to take 76,800 down to 65, so we're able to shave off 11,800. Hydro.
How do you come up with like 11 grand there? What do you, like, how do you figure that all out then? Like, it's just looking at the past?
So to you, Mayor Martin, we had the $7,000 extra bill and 7,000 gas bill that was accidentally allocated to that GL.
Okay.
So when we did our projected actuals, we were basing off $7,000 more than what we should have.
When a summary, or carry on, I guess, do you have more there or?
Yes, down on contractual services. It was suggested that we take 5 down,
Is that 61 stuff?
page 61.
Yeah.
It was suggested that we take 5 down to 2,500. I got looking into that GL. We're actually over the 5 down to 51, we're up to 5,100. So it's presenting 5,500 instead of 2,500.
So it's up 500 then.
That's right.
Or through you, Mr. Mayor, that's just, it does have to do with training the new employee. Or
Through you, Mayor Martin, this is engineering services, painting our ice. These are some contract companies that we have coming in to do some of our work.
okay, so the price, is the price really spiking here, or like in terms of if it's 51.50 last year, what we were, do you know what we were the year before? Like, is it really the time we maybe go out and look and put out to tender or look for somebody cheaper?
Through you, Mayor Martin, we can look at that. I can compare 24 numbers. I do know that some services did go up a tad, so we had a $5,000 budget and we ended at 5,100. Oh, good.
But I just had one question, Josh, you probably answered it, but so ask anyway. Page 60, equipment repairs and maintenance. That's almost tripled, like 27,000. And your actual last year was 5,000, but you're asking for 27 this year?
Through you, Mayor Martin,
Is that-
that's correct. Obviously, repairing equipment is an unknown. If we want to take that down, can, but I'm asking for 27.7, just you don't know if you need that or not, we can make an adjustment on that if you.
Well, what are you expecting to repair this year, where most of it's brand new, is it not?
Through you, Mayor Martin, we do have a lot of older weed whackers and we have some other older equipment. We have a 21-year-old truck. We have some things to maintain.
All right.
I think we lucked out at only spending 5,800 last year.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So how many items of work, like, do you want them all individual, Bob, or do you want?
No, we can do all that together.
Okay, so all the changes from the operating. That was from the operating overview and the department overview. Parking.
Pages 57 to 61.
Okay. So motion to approve the changes. Moved by Art, second by Kathy. All in favor? And that's carried.
Thank you.
Planning department overview. Page 53. I think there was anything. Yeah. Okay. Anything overview? Leaf overview?
Yes.
Public work was any overview. Public works operating overview, that's all, seems like everyone, these things, yeah. Peter?
Morning, Mayor Martin, members of council. So a few notes there from yesterday. Was the transfer of the roads was number one on page 70. Was up $58,000. I would suggest that we leave that increase there just for, as discussed yesterday, for future roads and yes, as we all know, the cost of construction is not going to go down, so I would suggest we leave that one at the suggested $563,000. The next on the list was memberships, training, and education. I would suggest that we could possibly cut $3,500 off of that and bring it to $23,500. And that would pretty much compensate for the increase of $3,500 overall for the village, basically the village snowplow removal. And the third was the water repairs and maintenance. I would suggest that we leave that stand. It's on page 86. Kind of combining these all together. I'm sorry, I just going through my notes, but that was I think that was all we really had. So I would suggest we leave the water again. It's the repairs and maintenance. Page 86. My suggestion is to leave it at the 47,000. Like I said yesterday, the one repair on Highway 7 was 33,000, so just one repair. And again, that's it's a different with the Highway 7 with the the asphalt layers and fuel standards and that.
How many repairs do you do like that per year?
Through you, Mayor Martin, I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but it can vary. Like this year was very reasonable. I think I have 3 that I can think of right off the top of my head. But the previous year, I don't have that number in front of me as well, but we were well over budget. And partially due to the Ottawa Street repair. It varies. Again, it's kind of like snowfall. It's some years you get a lot of snow and some years you don't. Like I can't predict on the water routes on how many we're gonna receive per year. So
Interesting with this freeze thaw going on right now, what you get.
yeah. So.
Okay.
Well, through you, Mayor Martin, if I could, while I'm still here, the bag tags. There was a question on the bag tags yesterday, so
What page?
hold on a second. Let me flip through. I'm not catching up what's out there. So page 78. We've got some numbers through admin. So actuals, I can go down through every one of actual bag tags revenues and tipping fees. So Oak Lake actual was 4,840 revenue. Fox Lake 3,758. Jacks Lake 2,956. Sixth line was $23,934.45. The tipping fee for the sixth line, just the sixth line tipping fee alone was $120,225.71. Municipal office, it was $30,305 for revenue from bag tags. So total, including the office of bag tag sales, not including the tipping fees, was $65,793.45.
And with the tipping fees?
Well, I'd have to do the math. I didn't do that, so. But yeah, it's 122,2571 plus the 65,793. 45. So approximately 186,000 in that neighborhood, yeah.
Thank you for that, Peter.
Thank you.
I think that's all the notes I had, from yesterday's meeting.
Is there any other questions or anything that's missing here? Okay,
There's only one change. We reduced memberships by $3,500.
so, okay, need a mover to that? Gary, Kathy? All in favor? Gary? You're messing when you jump all over, you're messing my checklist off here, Peter. Corey. And I sound like I'm repeating myself.
I think you went through all how it works. It's all done.
Water and source water, there was no question.
I don't think so. Peter answered all the questions that we had.
All right then, so. We'll move into capital. Right, so we have the administration capital overview. Page 100.
So yesterday, Mayor Martin, there was a question about signage. And allocation of resources for sale. So I think there may be an adjustment there if council wishes.
So, yeah, Bob and I had a discussion. He located some of the material we're looking for. So what I'm suggesting is, all 4 of the township, signages that are there, we just knock that into one category and we put that at 15,000 for signage, and that's for the highway signage. So eliminate, I don't know, 3 of the 4, and then maybe take the biggest one around the 13,786 up to 15, and then eliminate township wayfinding, township tourism, and business directory. What's that equal? I'm just saying that we have, obviously we put money aside for the economic development tourism strategy coming up here in the upcoming year. So, well, we are planning some signage here along the highway. I think it'd be more prudent if we wait, get that study done and see what comes out of that study in terms of moving ahead with, say, signage for the downtown area here. So septic can align probably maybe with other communities as well.
Yeah. Gary?
So what's the total, like, from 19.7 down to 13? You said 13.5.
Oh, so yeah,
So whatever the difference is,
31,
it's
it's like 33 down to 50, whatever, 33 something down to 15.
Like on the note here, it says 33.5, is that the line there? Over on your right hand side here at the bottom.
18.
Right here.
Yeah, exactly. Down to 15.
Down to 15, okay.
Sorry, 1850. 18, yes, 18.5, sorry.
18,500 is the reduction.
Yeah, but I think you add it.
But I don't think that's gonna affect the tax rate. But it's money you can spend elsewhere.
Well.
So motion for that?
Motion, Kathy. Gary? All in favor? That's carried. Okay, is there anything else in? Okay, so then we'll move into facility capital overview, page 102. Any notes there, Josh?
Peter Martin, just regarding the Old Town Hall. On page 103.
Yeah, we had a lot of discussion around that. I think there needs to be something in there, what it is, it's up to council. I would like to see 100 or 200 in there for, movement. But it's up to you guys, what we come up with. It's, things are still happening over there. And it is opening hopefully mid-February. So. Kathy?
So through you, Mayor Martin, I mean, something we're gonna continue on with. I think probably like 200,000 for this year and put it into reserves until we figure out our bills start coming in. 200,000.
Okay. So Kathy's moving 200,000 to that line. Which I'm sure makes a big savings on the bottom line lineup.
Through you, Chair, just for a clarification here, so we're talking about of the 615 that we've added to the transfer to the reserve, which affects the tax rate. We're going to, instead of the 615, we're going to include 200.
Yes.
So there would be a total of $260,000 in the transfer to the reserve.
Okay. So on the bottom, like, so that saves about 400 and some thousand. Yeah, 415. Okay. All right, so I do have a mover.
I'll second, but with the stipulation that, I don't know how you want to word it. I mean, it's fine and dandy for us to say 200,000 this year, and then we just sit on it, and then it sits there. So I would like to at least see, movement, construction. We can do one thing a year, I don't care, 2 things a year, just keep it going and get the repairs done. You've got the money there, I expect some of it to be spent, not just saved. For the thought of it.
No, like I said, it's gotta keep moving.
Yep, it's gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
I don't know how long we can make these motions, but
That's what I was.
I was gonna say, well, I'll make a separate
Well,
motion.
whatever.
No, I agree with everything that's said, but added to that, I would like to have some kind of public discussion, whether it be Councillor Doherty suggested a plebiscite, whether we want to go that far or not, leave it, that's up to council. But we need to have,
Yes.
whether it's a town hall, a public meeting in here, we need to hear from the public. We've had surveys and stuff like that done, but I mean, I think before we start committing major dollars here, well, we've already committed major dollars to it, but before we move any further, we need clarity from, our residents in terms of what they want. So I'm sure we all get anecdotes from different people about they want it and other people don't want it, but we need to have, I think, a collective discussion as a community in terms of how we're going to proceed moving ahead here and how far they want to go, how deep their pockets are. So I would just like that to be included or as a separate motion to it.
That was a
Would
motion.
you like to add that? Can you add that to your motion? Are you okay with that? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Can we have recorded vote on that too?
Sure can.
Just on the 2 parts of it, like when putting them together, I think one's a waste for the other, so I don't know, like I agree with the 200. But I don't, the part about doing, like we can do a public meeting or something, but I think we're too far past. We got too much into it to even think of anything else, so I don't know about the public meeting side of it, but like tying the motion together is the only reason I need a recorded vote, because I agree with the 200,000. I'd like to see 200 over the next 10 years. So it doesn't get lost in the next council. Same as this one, we had the last council made a decision that we were going to fix the town hall. Now we're kind of going back on that, are we really gonna? Do the people really want it? Well, we heard loud and clear, whether it's the minority that we listen to, it's, we listen to the public, we put money into it. And now I don't know how you go back. So,
No,
Yeah.
but we're doing what we're asked, like
yeah,
the
I know,
bill,
but-
we've done what we have to, we put the money in, it's gonna be open. What I'm talking about is how much are you gonna trick the building up? I mean, we haven't even really had a discussion about once we get it open, what it's gonna be used for. So I mean, well, before we start doing renovations, are we just gonna have local groups use it? I've heard other people talk about having a theater group and possibly use it. So I mean, if groups like that are gonna use it, maybe the modifications we're gonna do to that building are gonna be different from what we think needs to be done now.
Yeah.
And we need to have that discussion before we start spending money, I think.
I don't need to.
No, it's hard to put money aside if we don't know what we're trying to build or what we're trying to accomplish here.
Okay, that's fine.
And I know, but I agree with, we gotta put something, we've committed to it. I think 200,000 is a good start, right? It moves it into the next council. They can take it from there, whether they wanna
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
the allocation to it, or maybe things change and things come in and people say, no, we've had enough of it and we're not putting any more money into it. So
Yeah, I've seen a survey last night starting about save the town hall. So that's good. Okay,
I wanna save the town hall.
yeah, that's what I do too.
Really don't understand, your point of view. I get some of it, but I don't get all of it. I just think we need to make a commitment on it, whether we do a little bits every year or whatever. I cannot see the town not wanting us to do that. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Not just the town.
There's-
Township.
Yeah, the township, there's a lot of organizations that use that.
I just wanted to be
Yeah,
very
yeah.
clear here. That I'm not against closing a town hall. I was part of the council that put the money aside along with Mayor Martin, to keep the town hall open. So it's not about that. What I'm saying is, it's a major expense of money, $3 to $4 million moving forward. And I want to make sure that we do it right and we do what the community wants. That's all I'm saying.
So all I'm saying though, like with the motion, the way it works, and I support the motion, you know what, at least we're putting 200 in. All I'm saying is the motion saying, we're gonna put 200 in, but do we really want it? Like, it's kind of the way I read the motion, like it's got a but in there, instead of just saying, you know,
I don't think it's a but. All I'm asking for is it's kind of supplemental to it. And that, kind of, as I said, we need to have a discussion with the community.
okay,
Unless
Okay.
somebody at this table here today wants to tell me what the end game is gonna be up there in 5 years in terms of what the use is and who's gonna be using it, because I don't know that right now. And we haven't had those discussions with people from the community.
okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Through you to the treasurer, what was the reserve money they put away when they made the commitment to keep the town hall? Is that, how much do we have in there to go towards it now?
Future, we're talking about, sort of back,
Yes, well, I don't know when they approved it, 5, 6 years ago, whatever it was, certainly longer than 3 years ago, anyway, 4 years ago.
Maybe 5 or 6. Probably.
Yeah, so how much money has been put aside since the commitment to keep the town hall and renovate it? Is there in the coffers now? Or have we used it all to do the rentals?
the future, that money would have gone into the facilities reserve at the time, and say 2 or 3 years ago, there was very little money left in the facilities reserve, so we don't have a specific reserve for a project, because we have a lot of reserves here, and I think that's great for transparency. But the facilities reserve that may have been topped up was pretty much used.
Thank you. All right, so the motion's on the floor. Question, all in favor of the motion?
Record it?
I saw you want to record it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when it's a two-part.
Yeah, could you just read the motion just so we know exactly what?
I'm gonna adjust my notes there. Okay, so the motion is moved by Councillor Clement, seconded by Councillor Flagler. That 200,000 be allocated to the facilities reserve in the 2026 capital budget for repairs to Old Town Hall. And further, that public consultation is to follow regarding the future of Town Hall. Recorded vote was requested by Councillor Doherty. We will now go around the table. Councillor Clement. For. Deputy Mayor Webb.
Yes.
Mayor Martin.
Yeah.
Counselor Flanagan,
Yes.
and Counselor Doherty.
Nope.
And the motion is carried 4 votes to 1.
All right. Then. Was there anything else you got?
To you, Mayor Martin, yes, I'm sorry, page 102, we were discussing the Wi-Fi at the Stone Hall.
Yeah, and I had mentioned that today, and it might be something we come back with. I just wouldn't mind feeling it out that I always like it when we have a partnership and we're like, we don't even use it half the time. It's so it is for use of the town or the Stone Hall. So I'd like to just we're still gonna have another meeting, so I'd like to just confirm that that works, a partnership with our council initiatives and or one of the community grant. Maybe partnering with them and they would split it with us. So instead of 2,000, they put 1,000, we put 1,000 in the grant systems. And see if they're okay with that. Like, I don't want to push them out. It's a good idea and it's probably needed, even if you want to put cameras or anything up there, you need Wi-Fi for that kind of stuff. So I'm not objecting to it and I will support it if need be, but I think they're pretty good at working with us. So I'll look into that still on that line.
That was all the questions for facility staff.
Good.
That's it.
Thank you.
No other motions. All right, so the fire capital over here.
Page 116.
At least leaving 11:30 is 11:30. Okay. So page 116. We'll see questions around this one. No? There was,
No, I know, I just remember I made a comment about some of the stuff. I thought maybe it could just be thrown into his materials. and stuff.
right, okay.
No, everything's,
Do you need a motion for that to merge them all together, or does it matter?
I think that's something that fire chief can
Yeah, okay,
take it in house and.
Okay.
So. Motion.
all right then. Was there was nothing else then? Okay, then. We'll move on to the next library capital overview. Have anything here? The Parks and Recreation capital overview. Well, that's page 119.
119.
Just, Mr. Mayor, I think, speaking with Josh, the commented, I think yesterday, we haven't really had any feedback in terms of the community garden. So suggesting taking the community garden out of there, $5,000. Or vegetable garden is what it does, I guess.
Okay, so I know.
Future, I could check with the clerk there, but I think there was a motion for that, I guess, the fall thing. I think so. Yeah.
Apologize.
Yeah.
All right then.
Yes, there was a motion yesterday.
And the half-ton truck, I haven't, that's the problem with the meeting the day after, and give you credit for getting, some of the answers back already. The truck is, I wanted to confirm that the date of the half-ton at the fire hall, it expires on next year, like if it's got one more year, like we just gotta get through this summer. I'm wondering if it's got 2 years left in it with the year of it, so. Ray, are you online still? Yeah. That rescue truck, is just, you have a date when it outgoing? Huh. Don't have, no.
We put 40 grand in there last year for it.
Through Mayor Martin, yes, we do.
Oh, did we? Oh, okay, so the money's in there from last year?
Half of it.
Okay. Well, there would be a transfer, like even with the, that's probably what it'll be, even with transfer in departments, there would be that money would go from one department to another, would it not? Like when you do an internal thing, what do you do with the money? So like if that had been, yeah, how do you do that?
Each year, if it's an older fire, half ton, the only entry would be in our asset management, database. I would transfer ownership from one department to the other. So that wouldn't be, that much work. So if that was the case, then I guess we would be deleting the capital project that was added last year for the half-ton truck, and we added 40,000. And we would also be deleting this contribution for the 2026 budget as well, if that is what council so desired.
Well, it's up to council. It was just a thought that coming. I don't know. Ray, are you there?
I'm here. Sorry, Jim. Yes.
Okay, we were just wondering that. I was wondering, just that rescue truck there. Is it next year that it comes due for like after next summer, this summer, or is it 2 years?
It's actually the 2020 Dodge 1500 that I'm driving that's coming due in 2027.
Oh, okay. So that's, yeah. Okay, all right.
Do you remember Martin, a half ton would kind of be undersized for our trailer and our equipment that we haul? Would probably require a 3/4 ton.
Really? Okay.
Remember, I recommend just
leave it as it is.
Leaving it as is. It's a 21-year-old truck. I think we've been very fortunate.
Yeah.
And we get a new one and drop an old one. We put away last year on the understanding that we were going to do this, and now we're bobbing and weaving here. So,
yeah. Okay, just leave it as it is.
Yep.
Okay, so that's it.
Do you remember if that was it?
Okay, so that's the Parks and Rec capital overview. George's there. Okay. Thanks. Got it. Right, the roads capital overview, page 127.
Through you, Mayor Martin, I think we resolved everything else except for the Van Sickle Road was the one note that we were discussing in coordination with Markham Lake. Bob and myself, we did make the phone call and we did have some correspondence with their CAO and some emails back and forth as well. It sounds like it's a high priority. Make sure I have this right, Bob, but it's not on their list for this year.
And sorry. And through you, Mayor Martin, further to that, their budget cycle is quite a bit longer than ours. So it sounds like their budget process won't be completed until end of March, perhaps early April. So as the manager of Public Works indicated, it's on their list, but it's not on their priority list for this year to be done.
So the best thing we can do is to be prepared with our part is to keep working towards it, even if it doesn't happen this year. We should be trying to be ready when it does come, right?
32. I haven't been back there as much as maybe you have. But what's the condition of that road? I'm just concerned about, we're already a year over doing this road here. So we put this off a year, next summer there's a big accident out there, you know, I'm worried about liability in terms of, we're ready to go here. How, I look maybe to the CO as well. Is there a way we can, you know, give them a kick in the butt to get moving here on this? Because I'm concerned something's gonna happen, especially the summer with the cottagers, there's heavy traffic on that road, and it's only growing more and more every year because there's more, you know, building going on out there, so.
Through you, Mayor Martin, I might suggest to council that, council to council, we could send correspondence and make that request that this in fact be included in their budget allocation for this year and put on their project list for 2026.
I think it needs to be, that's the most complaints I get is that road. It is bad, it's narrowing in so bad that, yeah, it's time. So if they're still in their budget process, I'm surprised it's not on the roads and needs studies that it's done like 3 years ago. So.
Yeah, the 3D Mayor, just to add to that, so in the last 2020 roads needs study that we had completed, it was in the 1 to 5 years for full rehabilitation. So, and we're going into 2026, so our 5 years is up.
We've even run out of that time,
Yes.
extra time. So yeah, that's what I'm concerned about, right? As I said, if something happens back there, the ministry or whoever, they're be all over us, and we're not gonna just be able to say, oh, Marmor didn't want to know. We need to take responsibility of this right now.
It's kind of like we did with the bridge. The county ended up financing them with the bridge, because that's the one thing that's different, and we're lucky we don't pay for the bridges. The county does.
And just so council is aware as well, like this was gonna be in-house between both townships. So it wasn't gonna be tendered out to like a big contract tender. It was gonna be worked with our own equipment, with their own equipment. And so it was gonna be that's why we can keep the price down to where it is.
The prep work.
The prep work, yes, not, yeah, yes, we're not gonna pay, yeah, we're not paying, but we're gonna do all the ditches and cross culverts and all the prep work and gravel, and yeah, we're gonna do as much as we can between the two municipalities to keep the cost of where it is, so.
We need a motion to
Yes,
contact Marmor.
Yep.
Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second by Councilor Clement, that we contact Marmor and say, and that means we would leave anything we've got in here, then. And keep moving forward. Jerry,
Why would, if we're gonna tell them we're ready, I think we should make sure the money is in the reserve and ready to go. And if they don't move forward, it's still there, and we're done then, and it shows intent on our part.
exactly. Okay, all right, so I have a mover and a seconder on that, all in favor? And that's carried.
Mayor Martin, I believe that was all I think we answered the rest of the questions yesterday, so that was the only note I had for today.
Okay. Written. All right, so the water capital.
We did that. Oh, sorry, Mayor, I don't think we ever dealt with Uniman Road. We jumped over it, I believe. I'm not sure, did we?
Well, no, you got question with regards to it, that's what we're.
Yeah, I don't think I know they're a good corporate citizen. They do lots of good, and there's lots of employment throughout the area, but I think that we need a little larger contribution from Povia, because they're the only one that use the road other than 2 hunting camps. So, and I don't know what our last correspondence with what they were proposing back to us, but $1.1 million is a lot of money.
So. Yeah, I go to a lot of meetings back there, and they've been complaining for 3 years now, and last year when we didn't do it, I took it, but it is time. It's one of those roads that they've been, they are a big corporate citizen or corporate, they're good for our area, and they've been pretty patient on this thing. That being said, maybe after, it's like anything else, when you bring it up to a standard, there might be something that we can try and work out as far as helping us after, but right now, we've been putting money away a little bit, and We're almost there, so it would be nice to get it off the table. And I know they're looking forward to it when they heard it was in the budget, so.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor, I agree. This is something we were supposed to do last year. So we're already a year late on it. As it's been said, they're a major contributor jobs wise to our local economy here. But I do agree kind of with the mayor, maybe this will help Councillor Doherty in terms of moving forward. I think you've thrown it out before, Mr. Mayor, about having a discussion with them, as you said, once we redo this, possibly there's a way we can get them to take over the road and kind of make some kind of swap that way to kind of lessen the economic burden for the township moving forward in terms of doing this, every so often. But as of right now, I think we need to get this road done, and then, but as I said, further to that, I think those discussions with Uniman maybe should be had in the near future in terms of what we're going to do. So
I'll second that motion. I'm a firm believer because they are our biggest rural. We're so lucky. Was that a motion? Sorry.
I can make it a motion. It wasn't, but
Sorry, because I do think like we're very fortunate in a rural community to have someone like Columbia and so I believe we should move forward. But two, you're right, discussions need to come forward, but let's move forward.
What did you move it?
yeah, I'll make the motion then that we go ahead with it, but with the exactly we need to have discussions. I believe we talked about this maybe last year too when we put it off. So if we can maybe get those discussions started, then.
Okay, so we have a mover and a seconder.
Question, have we reached out to Covia in the last year or so, or is it like, or did they offer anything, or is it just no, or like I really kind of in the dark as to where we are, or maybe we want to contact them. I don't know.
Through you, Mayor Martin, there was council discussion regarding this matter, and staff did reach out to Covia, and the response was that they may be willing to assist with the cost of this project, but no numbers were defined. And no numbers were defined by either side. So I think they asked for council to define a number and make a request. And if we're willing to do that, they would consider it, but no definite response.
Fair enough.
So, any other questions around the motion?
Are we reaching out or not? I guess it's the question. No, is it part of the motion, or do you want it to be separate? Or?
Well, I'm just, look at the rest of council. I mean, should we at least ask, or do we go ahead, or at least maybe as a part of the reach out, say we're discussing this at budget, but
they're asking us to put a number out. That's what they're saying in that thing. Like, what do you want? You can't just leave it open because, what do you want? So what do you want? Like, as far as that's where it's easier. If it's like, it's kind of like George Street. If it's brought up to a standard, then you can negotiate and say, look, you can have it now as a driveway or whatever. I don't know, but to say to them, they're not. Everything's tight, so it'll be interesting to see if they have anything they can offer us. They are a good corporate citizen. They help in all our events and things like that. They're involved everywhere. But as far as that road, the one comment I had one time back there was they pay taxes and that's their road into their place and it needs work. So how it got there, I don't know. But anyways, here. Go ahead.
So through you, Mayor Martin, a suggestion, if council does approve and go forward, this could go out, it will go, this road is deemed to go as a tender. So a contractor, whoever is awarded the tender, will come in and do all the work in a reasonably fast fashion considering the mine. But my suggestion is if we do approve and it does go out and we get the tender back, then we'll have some actual firm numbers. And if council then would like to say maybe it comes in at 1.4 or is cheaper than the engineers have given us a budget. But then we could go back and say with a firm number of, what would be something to consider. Just a thought.
I was going to, we put the money aside and we can have a discussion here as council if you want to set a number. But I think whether it's the number towards this project or moving ahead, to me is more important in terms of possibly, to the mayor's point, getting them just to take the road back So it's not on our dime anymore, right? Would be the way I would like it to end. So put the money aside and then, you know, as Pete said, we can move ahead like that, contact you and, you know, either whether it's request money or say, listen, we're fixing it up, but we'll at the same time, we'd like to maybe, you know,
So through you,
invest this back to you.
through you, Mayor, and my suggestion that it could be cheaper is if we get the tender out in the middle of January instead of the summer, that's where the bidders are really gonna be a little more proactive to, you know, whether it's in the summer, it just seems to be the way the contractors work, so.
Jerry?
That's true. Remember, why do we need a number if we give them percentage? The 50-50, our present number that we have an estimate was 1.1 divided in half. If it goes larger, the 50-50 is just a little larger, that's all. We might get a read from as to what they're gonna come back and say no or whatever, maybe.
Number percentage is still a number, so it's all a number. But I
But
guess
just to get, we have, $1.4 million is not 1,000,001. We were 300,000 light on our reserves if it's 1,000,004.
No.
And we don't have an indication back from them going the way of getting the quotes. We're now, they can sit back and say, you're gonna fix it anyway. You know, you're gonna do it, so.
Well, kind of that's where we are now, exactly. To me, like, it's our responsibility to fix it, and anything we get out of them, to me, is gonna be bonus. And especially bonus going ahead if I can divest the road back to them, so it's not a future cost to the municipality.
Yep.
Through you, Mayor Martin, then this just seems to be up in the air. You don't know if Cobia is gonna pay. So my suggestion would be another 200,000 this year and reach out to Cobia and see if they cover half the costs.
No, like the motion's already there, but so just wait till we see where that goes. And
Yes.
the one thing that I was wondering, Peter, and I don't know, like when this tender goes out, like one of the things that I thought that they could help with possibly, and I don't know. Like they got all the equipment back there, like when you're getting into putting that culvert in and stuff like that. Like there may be something that they can do possibly to help with the costs like that, like, you know, like stuff with their equipment. I don't think we can use their material. I don't think but we have to wait till the tender goes out and see what work needs done and how much it's gonna be and then work from there. So I think for today, you gotta move forward and, you know, if there's a money left or we can work something out and the tender comes out, it'll help next year. But
Do you remember, Martin? So Peter, if we pass today, how fast can you get a tender?
we won't be past today.
Oh, I mean, but
No.
within the next,
Through you, Mayor Martin, that would go through some consultant engineers, so it'd be on their time frame to put that out, so we make sure we have all our I's and T's crossed, but I would surely hope, you know, 3 weeks turnaround time, we'd be able to have a tender out.
close.
That's why a lot of these capital projects, a lot of councils pre-approve some stuff if you know you're gonna stay with it, but I don't think we're there yet. But that's how you get these things out and you try and get in on some good pricing. But Bev?
I had some, I lost it. It's okay.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
you have the motion.
No, so through you, Mayor Martin, clarification on the motion. So is the motion to proceed to tender and request financial assistance from Uniman?
Yeah.
Is that the motion?
I don't think it was. I think it was to talk to them after, but about what they can do or start
Was
the
the motion at the
process.
very, yeah. Yes.
So proceed to tender means Peter can start today with that process.
Well, no.
Well, what-
I'm not
No.
approving that here. Like we're going through the budget here in terms of placing money places.
Okay,
And I'm making a motion to keep the money that has been allocated for it in here.
okay,
But at the same time, whether it's council staff or whatever, to maybe yesterday, start reaching out to Uniman, whether it's with a number or some kind of, you know, start the discussions in terms of where we're going here after this road is fixed. Because none of that has been done. So, and that's all I'm saying. As much as I'd like to get some money, if I can't get money from them this time to do it, then we move on to maybe, as I said, we can moving ahead get divested, then they can take it over, so.
So for today, like, we're not passing this today, so let's just, right now, that's where we're at, keep it as a
Oh, yeah,
holder.
okay, well, all right, well, then I
You
guess I
know,
don't need a motion.
You don't need a
to change
motion,
anything.
just, keep it where it's at right now, and we'll bring it back to the next meeting.
Sorry, but the motion does indicate we are to reach out to Covia and ask for assistance.
There is no, we weren't even making a motion, so
Yeah, we'll get to that later, because I think that's.
So you don't want
you
that.
don't want them.
Well, I don't know, we haven't had that discussion here, and if you wanna have
Okay.
it now, I guess we can do it now, but I
No,
thought.
it's up to you.
bring-
No. Up to you. So
So is it what you're saying, Bob, then is to even just have a separate motion, don't even put the money on the table here, a motion that we approach Covia again, is that what you're saying?
yes,
If we can do it before the next meeting, whenever the next, for the budget.
we can do it this week.
Yeah.
I think so, we got a meeting, we have our own meeting next week, don't we? So, I mean, it's great to,
Okay,
I'm just saying if there's.
yeah,
extra
so
money that-
you wanna make a motion that we reach out to
Yeah.
Covia?
So reach out to Covia, but no specific requests. Just reach out and ask them, are they willing to help?
You gotta give them a number.
That's what I'm getting, yeah. So I don't know when that discussion, if you wanna have the discussion now, so, you know. Whether it's a percent, a number of, you know, the 1.4.
I mean, it's the one point. I like the in-kind thing, like, or whatever, like equipment, those types of things, listening to them back there on the changes that are going on. We can ask and all they can do is say no, that's fine, but it's not like. Just because they're a big organization, they're feeling it too, so they got lots of things happening.
I think the discussion needs to be had is in terms of it is. You know. A big number for us to pay kind of every 5 or 6 years or how often we do that road. So whether we allocate that money now or like what I would say to them is. If you want to help out now, but at our end game, just be honest with them, right, is we can't continue to pay for this road. Moving forward, so is there a way that you guys want to take this? We need to have that discussion with them and none of that has been had, so.
They're not gonna buy the road. I wouldn't think.
Well, they're not gonna do
You
buy
would
it,
just give it.
we would just give it. But it would be their responsibility to,
What happens to the people that use it?
You would have to have easements and things like that, yeah. Snowmobile
Move a
club,
mess.
there's a snowmobile club to use, and there's 2 on camp.
Yeah.
Jerry?
Through you, Mayor, when we assess the road. And get the reconstruction done. I hope they're well aware that there's 30, 40, 50 trucks goes in and out every day, one empty and a tobacco full. And our life expectancy on that road, it's not going to be like the other roads. And that's part of the point that I think that they're heavy users and I don't need to be schooled on the fact that they're a corporate client and they do good because we always said that at the outset. But I think it's if it lasts 5 years, it's going to last 3 there. So I think we have to come to grips with that. I think Deputy Mayor Whip had since the future, but.
Yes, through you, Mayor Martin, yes, that was through a consultant, engineering firm that gave us the estimate on that. And based on non-restricted roads, so there would be no load restrictions on it. So you were talking
Same as 46.
same as 46. So it's going to be a base of pit run, A gravel, 2 layers of asphalt, HL8, HL3. It's going to be constructed as a major like 46 highway. Yeah, this is going to be the same construction, hence the price. Yeah, but then it will last.
But their taxes included a roadway to their operation. It's too bad it wasn't a driveway, but it's a road and it's our road. And kind of back to Van Sickle Road. If somebody has an accident there, or like for the one girl took her front end out, they could easily come back after us. Like, you know, we'll have to pay for it because it's our road. There's things that we can do to work with them. Like I mentioned, even the snowplow, like if we pay the county, what is it, 20,000 or 30,000 a year to snowplow the thing. Maybe they could help us with that. There's things that working together again. You're right. It's a driveway but it's our road. How it got there, I don't know, but it's our road. So, and it's due on our minimum maintenance, or our roads need study to be repaired, and that's what they pay taxes for. So, if you want to turn it to gravel, we can turn it to gravel and do that. But I don't know. So we can leave it for today. We got another meeting on, so we'll see what we can do. So if you want a motion that we write them another letter, and you want to, I don't know what number you put on it, because I don't know how you, like, I know it's nice to say, can you help us? What do you want?
They asked for a number.
Yeah, like, I don't want a number. I don't want to do it. I'm happy with, you know what,
Sure
they pay
doesn't sound
taxes. They pay taxes, let's do it. Let's just do the way it is right now. If I could make a motion right now, I would say, let's just do it, and let's look at the afterwards of trying to, but that's just me. So, it's been 3 years now, it's been going through, needing repair. And, Works have done a great job filling all the patching and, doing what they can with it, but that's another cost that, that we're doing every year. So, anyways, we can, if somebody wants to make a motion to put a number on it, do it and see where it goes. And if they don't want to make a motion, we'll just leave it till the next, when we're comfortable with making a motion to move ahead here, one way or the other. If you want to make a motion right
Well,
now.
no, I'm confused. Are we moving? Because
That's what I'm asking you.
No, it's part of the budget. If the budget approved, it's moving ahead.
So make a motion to move ahead.
No, I'll appoint Deputy Martin to go in the chair and you can make the motion. I'm just saying it's already part of the budget. It's already part of the budget. So if we approve the budget, it's already approved.
Yeah.
So I think we're talking about what we want to do with Indusman in the interim, or Covia in the interim, are we not? Maybe I'm just confused. I'm sorry.
I'm for just, for myself, I'm for just leaving that money there right now, whether staff or whoever reaches out to Covia in the interim, before we pass the budget and get new information, that's fine. I'm not making any motion. We obviously haven't settled on a number. I agree. I think we need to do this one way or the other this year. So whether you want to throw a number, I was just saying, it's always nice to ask, because the few times that we actually do ask in these cases, we actually do receive money, believe it or not. So I say, why not? At least try to ask. The worst they can say is no, right? But the bigger thing to me moving forward, to your point, is get it done, but start these discussions in terms of this, because this is going to be, what is it? 1.4 million this year. The next time it comes up 5 or 6 years from now, it's going to be 2. It's going to be over 2. Like that. Right. These numbers are not going down, and they're going to just keep coming back and slapping whoever is sitting at this table in the face year after year, and all of us as taxpayers. So that's what I'm more concerned about, is the long run than actually doing.
According to the study that we have done, we overfund this department. We overfund our roads.
I'm not, and I won't disagree with that. I'm just talking about Union Road in and of itself. And as I said, we put it off last year because we had other projects that we were concerned about. And they were patient enough. They waited. They didn't complain. We don't get any nasty letters or whatever. So I think it's just our responsibility to get that done.
So Kathy, then I don't know.
So through you, Mayor Martin, to get a figure, don't we really need Peter to do a, what do you call it, Peter?
Through you, a tender. And that was just my suggestion. Then you could go, if it's 10%, then you'd have a hard number to add or to work with them. That was just my suggestion, but the 10% is 10% or 15 or 20 or whatever the council's decision is. But it was just that you'd have a hard number to go with.
Understood, but we still need the number for the budget. If we go to tender, we gotta, in terms of determining the budget, we understand. Otherwise, we're not gonna be able to put past the budget until after he comes back with the tender.
So that means we're doing Union Road this year. Is that?
Well, it's in there still. Like, I think, it's in there right now. We haven't passed it yet. So, we can, and it's no good. Like, I can go back and meet with them and, talk with them and just put it to them. Like, is there anything that you can do to help? Or we can have them to our February meeting and
through the mayor, we asked, and they
Yeah.
said, give us a number. So we're gonna respond, and you know, want to help us? Give us a number.
give us a number and make a
No, I'm
motion.
not giving, I'm just telling you what they said. You were.
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay, well then, we're going back. They have said what, they said, give us a number.
Okay.
That's what I understood the correspondence from Bob read to me there, so I
I'm
don't.
not hearing a motion right now, so I think it's in there right now and we'll just see where it ends up at the end. But right now, it's there until we come up with something, and we just, because we're not settling this thing today. So if somebody wants to get Kobe in here or give a number here and make a motion, do it. If not, we'll move on. So that's all we need is a number. And I'm not prepared to do it. If somebody wants to throw something out there to ask them, you know, if you want to split with us on it, ask them. Like the deputy mayor said, that all they can do is say no. But for today, for budget purposes, we have a number here, and we'll just, it's in there right now, and see where it ends up. But so, okay, no more. So, all right then. That's it, Peter. So the sewer capital is next, and it's we have the meeting with Aqua this morning, so we didn't deal with these yesterday, so page 140 and 142 we looked at this morning, and I think we looked at explained it pretty well, I think. So was there anything in there that I don't think there's anything in them. Like, we heard what they're doing, and they've always been pretty good at you know, trying to keep it as low as they can.
Nice that we're finally here. We're
Yeah.
finally moving on this.
Yeah. So. Great. So that's it for the agenda here, and so there's.
We have final for it.
Yeah, we final.
Here, I'm scrolling back to the left of my workbook here, so 4.5% with all of the motions made yesterday and today.
As it is right now, 4.5.
That's correct.
Okay. Do you have any?
No, just was asked to see about, give you a comment about the
How it
budget
fits
with
into the
the
strategic
strat plan.
Yes. Yeah, so our budget, yes, so through you, Mayor Martin, our budget process does certainly correlate to our strategic plan. Our strategic plan is a living document and a multi-year document. So not all of it is completed with this budget, but there are a number of items that have been included in this budget. And if you do look at our strategic plan, which I think I have a copy of here somewhere. There are a number of things. So, for example, Public Works water well expansion is in the list. Wastewater master plan, treatment plant expansion is ongoing. The stormwater master plan is work in progress, that's happening. And roads need study is also happening. So that is ongoing. Land use planning, both of those items finalize a new official plan that is happening. And once that happens, we can move forward with overhauling the comprehensive zoning bylaw. So that's in process. Emergency services, replacement of vehicles as per the asset management plan, that's happening. We had a discussion about the side-by-side yesterday. In the facilities department, the outdoor sports complex, that project is on the books and happening and is reflected in our budget. The fitness center addition is ongoing. That is a work in progress after completion of the expansion of the arena. So that's a future project. West End Park upgrades. We did do some upgrades there last year. There is an entrance now to that park. So that's ongoing. The long-term care facility, of course, was completed. We've had the official opening, so that's completed. Medical center feasibility assessment, there's been discussion about that. That's an ongoing project. And AODA compliance, we're happy to report that we did submit our year-end compliance and we were compliant. So things are moving forward there. So when you look at our, in the taxation area, the goal is taxation levy relative to inflation. I think we're achieving that. We're getting a reasonable number that council is comfortable with. So when you look at our strategic plan, it is reflected in our budget and in our activities significantly.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, so we're a little ahead of schedule. We are going into closed session with, I don't know whether he's gonna be here early or not,
Around noon.
around noon. So we do have a break here. We can take a break here till 12 o'clock.
Motion.
Oh, the survey, before we break, yeah, the survey. It
Yeah.
came,
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
through you, Mayor, Deputy Mayor Webb received an inquiry regarding the public survey that we did regarding budget items. That has been detailed. It's in the supplementary book that council receives. It's not in the public version of the book, but with every question that was asked, there is the question and then the responses that were received. And we have done our best to coordinate that information into our budget. This document can be made available to the public. We can photocopy this and provide it.
Thank you. I was just gonna say, is there a way we could have that added to the public's for,
Yeah, we can probably do that, and I think going forward, we'll include this in the public document going forward in future years.
Thank you.
So
Thank
it is relevant to.
thank you to staff for doing that.
You're welcome.
okay, so we'll just do a recess until noon. Then we have to come back into closed session. So reason for a motion to recess, Jerry and Hart, all in favor, and that's carried, and we'll be back. Okay, so we'll need a motion to resume the open session. Moved by Councilor Doherty, second by Councilor Clement, all in favor. That's carried. And now we need a motion to go into closed under section 239 2E for litigation or potential litigation matters of the township. Moved by Bev, second by Jerry, all in favor, and that's carried. Okay, so permit bylaw.
Only 4 or 5.
Affirming bylaw.
Affirming bylaw for today's meeting, Jerry Hart. All in favor, carried. And then motion to adjourn, Hart, Jerry. All in favor,